Welcome back to Rotary in the southwest of England. This is where we highlight what Rotary International is doing for communities at home and abroad. Importantly, we're also using this programme to provide a platform to promote the good causes we in Rotary support. If you are a community-based organisation and want an opportunity to promote your activities, then do contact us. Today we're in the centre of Cornwall's China clay mining industry. We're at the Eden Project, the county's most visited tourist attraction. The domes are the world's largest and are home to thousands of plant species from around the globe. We're in a disused quarry which is now helping to transform the economy of Cornwall. It's an example of using our past to strengthen our future. In this programme, we're going to bring you a number of ways that Rotary transforms the life of others. So what is Rotary? Rotarians are just ordinary people who are prepared to go out of their way to help others. But when they work together under the Rotary banner, those ordinary people achieve extraordinary things. They change lives, save lives, and give hope. Rotary's business is doing good in communities at home and abroad. Fundraising is only a small part of what we do. Today, we'll be featuring our overseas project team, which takes obsolete but completely serviceable equipment from across the UK and sends it to where it is needed around the world. We will also be bringing you an update on polio and how Rotary's efforts over the last 3 decades has prevented millions of youngsters contracting this terrible, debilitating disease. But now let's go across to another disused quarry in the west of Cornwall, where BF Adventure operates, changing the lives of thousands of youngsters.
Hello and welcome to BF Adventure, out here in a disused quarry where we're making a great difference to children's lives. I'd like to introduce you to some of the staff from here and some of the Rotarians and members of the Inner Wheel who've been helping to enable BF Adventure staff make a difference to some of the young children who come here.
And I'm the Chief Exec at BF Adventure, and I've had the privilege of running the organisation now for about 3.5 years. Rotary, we recognise they're a fantastic organisation, and I knew as soon as I stepped in here that this organisation couldn't survive on its own. The funding climate at the moment is incredibly challenging. Our site facilities needed massive investment, and I knew that we wouldn't be able to do it ourselves. And I knew there was a network out there, and obviously through yourself, one of our trustees, I knew the Rotarians were highly supportive, and they have had a history of supporting us with programmes and supporting young people and providing Christmas dinners. So really I set out on a campaign to engage more support, to talk to the local groups, to tell them what our story was and what the need was, and to see what they could support.
Well, I guess the story starts a couple of years ago when my wife Linda was president of the Inner Wheel, and she adopted the Bishops' Forum as her charity. And as the girls got more and more involved, it became very apparent that there was an aspect that Rotary could assist with as well. We are the professional business community, and therefore we should be able to muster up the sort of skills and support that was needed. And so when the ladies were going round getting pledges for materials to build this whole structure, we thought we could do something similar, and so Rotary set to work as well. We had some funds that we'd raised from the beer festival, and so we added those to the ladies to support them. And then we got a matching grant from district as well, so that worked very well. We had working parties then came up. We cleared some ground here. We had a working party to strip the roof of the tiles that you see behind you there, which came from a bungalow in Portleven, which were donated. The local builders merchant donated the transport to get them here on site, and a group of Rotarians spent a day with their shirts off, stripping the roof, stacking the tiles, putting them on pallets and bringing them up here. So we've worked in practical ways as well as in fundraising, supporting our ladies.
It literally was a couple of years ago when I had the opportunity to talk to the ladies of Inner Wheel, and really just the opportunity they saw to come on board and support the kitchen was fantastic. The timing was perfect. Through the work that they've done, through all the fundraising, through all the other groups and clubs that they've engaged, and the business contacts, it's made such a difference. It's really literally got this project out of the ground and gives us a real chance of finishing it by Christmas.
Well, as a member of Houston Lizard in a Wheel, 2 years ago when Linda Ford was the president of our club, her designated charity for the year was Bishop's Forum. So that's how I first learned about BF, and Linda and I came here for a visit just to see the site and to meet everybody and learn about the projects here. And it touched me really, and I thought it's definitely something that I want to get involved in, and I can give something to this project. So that's how I first got involved.
It's amazing. I mean, I didn't know until about 5 years ago that BF Adventure existed here, yet I've been in Cornwall for 20 years. So I hope that this kind of advertising can spread the word and make people aware of the great job that's done here.
Fantastic to see it like this. Can't wait for it to open in
No,
December.
Yes.
Well, I won't draw the line in the sand and say we will be open by the start of December, but that's the intention, and we'll certainly be feeding all our young people. They'll be having their sit-down Christmas dinner here before Christmas. It's definitely going to happen. We've got the support, we just need to finish the job now. And for some of these young people, it will be the first time they've had a Christmas dinner, sat at the table in a social situation, and have really experienced what Christmas should be all about. So it's a great opportunity.
Thank you very much for joining us in our programme today about BF Adventure. We do hope that you've learnt some more about the charity and about how you as Rotarians and members of the Inner Wheel and the general community at large could become involved and help make a difference to all those young people and children who need a little bit more help to change their lives.
BF Adventure really is changing lives and giving a brighter future to many. You can help them by holding your corporate and team building events at their facilities. Today, there is a great concern about the spread of Ebola. Here in Rotary, disease prevention is a priority, and for the last 3 decades we have been concentrating on the eradication of polio. In the UK, the disease is a distant memory, with the last case reported in the late 1980s. But it remains a problem in some parts of the world and can easily spread. In the last programme, we briefly reported on Rotary's fight against polio and one of Rotary's fundraising initiatives. Rotarians from more than 60 countries have now participated in our World's Greatest Meal and have so far raised over $1 million, which has been increased to $3 million by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Why should we all work together to end polio?
We have stopped endemic polio in all but 3 countries. Until polio is stopped in these countries too, it's still a threat in every country. We need you to keep up the good work until we can certify that the whole world is polio-free, that no child anywhere will ever suffer from this terrible disease again.
I admire the Rotary Club's interventions so much. They're well thought out and enacted.
When we set our mind to do something, we don't do it in half measures. We go out there and achieve what we're promising. And in 1985, Rotarians across the world pledged to rid the world of polio. And at that time, there are 1,000 new cases each day in 125 countries across the world. This year, we've seen India declared polio-free, and now polio is only endemic in 3 countries, just 3 countries. That's Nigeria, Afghanistan and Pakistan. And we really are this close to ending polio.
The plan is that by 2018, polio will be eradicated. And this is a very detailed plan. And the cost of doing this endgame strategy over 5 years is $5.5 billion. Of that, we have $5 billion committed. And at the moment, the task force is concentrating on filling that gap of $500 million. And so we do that by regular meetings with politicians, both at national level and with the EU, and encouraging them to keep polio in their budgets.
I'm here in a clinic in Accra, in Ghana. Wherever I go in doing my work, the Rotarians have been there before me. It is a very humbling thing to discover just exactly what putting service before yourself adds up to when you see it in practice on the field.
You can actually use your knowledge and your business skills, but also you can actually get involved and have fun. And I think the having fun bit is really good because Rotarians together, collectively, are really good, lively people.
Polio became an important issue to me when I was 4 years old, and I woke up one morning and couldn't move. I couldn't get out of bed. I remember clearly my mother and father calling the doctor and being placed in Birmingham Children's Hospital, where I was in isolation for about a year. I was lucky to live in a first world country. I don't want other children to be faced with this issue when it is eminently doable. Polio can be eradicated from the world. It takes the will of many, and it takes money.
I would like to thank each one of you Rotarians for what you have done in helping to eradicate polio. Thank you on behalf of all the children in the far-to-reach parts of the world, from Afghanistan, Pakistan, India and Nigeria. We wish to say an almighty thank you to each and every one of you for what you have done to giving them the chance to be free from polio with their friends and families. This evening, I hope we have reminded you what brilliant things you have achieved through your hard work in eradicating polio and your global good work. The entire world will benefit from this victory, and you, the Rotarians, will be responsible for seizing this opportunity of a lifetime. We believe that every child deserves the chance to a healthy life, and through the provisions of vaccines, Rotarians such as yourselves and others have worked to ensure a better future for millions of children around the world. Right now, you have a unique opportunity to wipe out a disease for good and see an end to polio. We call on you to make the most of this final window of opportunity and fully support polio eradication through to the end. Together, we can create a brighter future for the world's children, beginning with a future free from polio. Rotary, you are this close. Rotary, please close this. Okay? Let's do that together. Rotary, you are this close. Rotary, please close this. Okay? At this stage, I would like to call on Rotarian Bill Clark of Trewithen Dairy to say a few words on how you can help. Please close this. Okay?
I think you'll agree. The reasons to end polio are compelling. Rotary around the world has raised hundreds of millions of dollars. The end is in sight, and we must grasp this opportunity to finish the job. Rotarians are people who, when moved to do something, get up and do it. Rotary here in the Southwest has been doing some lateral thinking on the theme of the world's greatest meal. If it's food related, then how can we raise funds to end polio? As you saw in the last feature, Bill Clark, owner of the Trewithen Dairy and member of the Lostwithiel Rotary Club, is concerned about polio. He got up and did something. He encouraged Rotarians and the public from across the Southwest to fill his milk bottles with money. Bill's Pint for Change raised £10,000, and the cream on the top is the £20,000 added by the Gates Foundation. As a result, Bill's Pint for Change is now the single largest world's greatest meal fundraiser and has effectively vaccinated 50,000 children. After the break, we'll be talking to Peter King, President of Rotary International in Great Britain and Ireland, and showing you what concerned Rotarians from the Southwest have been doing in Kosovo.
Looking for a home maintenance company you can trust? Ocean now provides a whole range of expert maintenance services, from heating, electrics and plumbing to refurbishment and roofing. And thanks to our 24-hour emergency call-out service, you're always covered. Ocean, we do more than you think. To find out more, call Centaur Store 874488 today or visit www.morethanyoutthink.co.uk.
Welcome back. Recently, we've had Peter King, President of Rotary International in Great Britain and Ireland, visit the Southwest. We caught up with him between some of his visits to our projects.
Rotary is a worldwide organisation of professional and business people, both men and women, who are focused very much on doing good in the community. We feel that we have been blessed by our own particular positions, and we are concerned to help others less fortunate ourselves in service which we carry out in the clubs. There are some 34,000 clubs worldwide, and what we try and do is not only to have fun and enjoyment in those clubs, but also to enjoy the service for community.
And of course, I understand you visited Shelterbox as well, which is a Rotary project that we're all very proud of.
Absolutely. Well, then again, that came out of one project for one club. They saw a need for disaster relief. They formed these wonderful boxes that have the tents and the sleeping bags and the utensils to tide over a family for about 3 to 6 months. It was such a wonderful project that it grew and grew, and now is an independent project that sends so many boxes to so many places. It's a wonderful thing to see.
We have so many Rotarians and Rotary clubs throughout this district, and they're all doing amazing work. Today I understand you visited the Overseas Project team, where some 70 Rotarians from 26 clubs have got together and they're taking perfectly serviceable but obsolete equipment abroad. Your thoughts on that?
Well, that's a prime example of what Rotary can achieve because of its networking skills, because of the experience of the individuals in the clubs. They can contact all sorts of agencies outside Rotary to seek their help, particularly, as you've said, on vehicles that are perfectly serviceable but are being changed here. Rather than sending them to the scrap heap, we send them to Albania and Kosovo, for example, where they're really in great demand because the infrastructure there is still recovering from the war.
That's correct, and I think we've just sent our 69th convoy abroad, and that the Rotarians who've returned from that, they drove 3 fire engines and 1 ambulance to Kosovo. Quite an achievement. Peter, how many years have you been in Rotary?
I've been in 30 years, indeed. I'm celebrating with my club our 30th anniversary this week.
Congratulations. What do you get out of Rotary?
I think Rotary, I gain 3 things, I think. First of all, and most importantly, it is a family. As I said, 30 years with the same people, sharing ideals, makes it we are very close together, and that gives really great support. But fundamentally, Rotary is about service, not just having fun and eating dinners, but actually getting our hands dirty in projects locally, such as fairs and fetes, and all sorts of projects, both locally and internationally. And that really is rewarding to see an outcome of effort. And thirdly, I feel that it is a positive force for good, and I feel very proud that I'm part of this organisation and looking after it in the British Isles.
Thank you, Peter, and we're very proud to see you here in this district. We're very proud of all the work that we do for communities at home and abroad. Enjoy the rest of your year as President.
Thank you very much. I hope so.
Peter mentioned the Overseas Project team. It was not until I got a better understanding of the project team that I realised how much good, perfectly usable equipment is taken out of service and discarded well before its useful life has expired. In the southwest of England, we like to think we're running Rotary International's largest recycling project. The overseas project team recycles such equipment, taking it abroad to where it is needed. That equipment ranges from crutches to computers to fire engines. What they are achieving is amazing, improving the quality of life for hundreds of thousands of people.
In 1999, immediately after cessation of hostilities, 3 Rotarians from the Rotary Club of Launceston helped deliver aid to Kosovo. The impact on those Rotarians was lasting, and they resolved to do more. The scale of humanitarian assistance needed was just too much for a single club. So Rotarians across Cornwall and West Devon decided to work together, and the Rotary Overseas Project Team was formed. We have now delivered millions of pounds worth of obsolete equipment, ranging from walking sticks to fire engines, to communities in 14 countries across 4 continents. The ultimate in recycling, improving the lives of hundreds of thousands. The Overseas Project Team has now completed 70 projects with the direct support of all clubs within this Rotary district. About 80 Rotarians and many more Rotarians have helped personally to deliver this aid, all at their own expense. The cost of ferries, fuel, insurance, etc. is covered by donations from Rotary clubs. Most recently, a team of 6 Rotarians and 6 members of the fire and rescue services from across the south and southwest of England have delivered 3 fire engines and an ambulance to Kosovo. That takes the total to 24 fully equipped fire engines and 10 ambulances delivered abroad, and much, much more, such as medical equipment, items for the disabled, minibuses for use by dialysis patients and the disabled, computers, furniture, toys, building materials and fitments, agricultural equipment and sewing machines. So where does the equipment come from? It's all about networking. Often items destined for scrap or landfill have years of life left in them. Many public services find that they have to dispose of vehicles or equipment that have reached their mileage ceiling or disposal age. The Overseas Project Team has built up a vast network of contacts who are willing to give Rotary their obsolete equipment, in the safe knowledge that we will take them abroad to communities where they are needed. We have even been given 2,000 pairs of fake designer shoes by trading standards. Such items have to go abroad or they have to be destroyed. What a waste. Sustainability is paramount. Taking the firefighting equipment as an example, we have Rotarians who are ex-fire service mechanics, and they ensure that all vehicles are serviced before delivery to the customer. Where appropriate, we will provide spares, support and advice. All at their own expense, the fighters from the fire and rescue services travel with our convoys and provide professional training in specialist equipment such as ladders, crash rescue equipment, breathing apparatus and the like. The Kosovo government is so pleased that they are now beginning to help with the cost of deliveries, and Rotary in Kosovo has paid for the delivery of 13 tonnes of medical equipment, aids for the disabled and protective clothing for the municipal workers. The Overseas Project Team really is the ultimate in recycling. Through effective networking and using the skills of our Rotarians, we are saving lives, changing lives and giving hope.
And now for a roundup of Rotary news.
Here is a roundup of some of the things Rotary is doing in the southwest of England and further afield. In the far west, the Isles of Scilly Rotary Club have been busy at the Five Islands School, where they have been holding a series of mock interviews with the older students. They have also bought a mobile ECG machine and accessories for the health centre, which allows health checks to be done in homes rather than addressing the travel problems of an island community. Recently, the Rotary Club of Totnes in Devon staged the Buckfastleigh to Totnes raft race on the River Dart. 38 teams with 280 paddlers faced the challenging 9-mile race. For several years, the Rotary Club of St Ives, along with the St Ives School of Painting, has sold large postcard-size original paintings by up-and-coming and famous artists. The problem is the purchasers have no idea which artwork is by whom until after they have purchased. In total, 274 paintings are for sale at £40 each. This event has become so popular that some camp overnight to get the art piece that catches their eye. Earlier this year, Devon-born Canadian Rotarian Martin Parnell set out to run 630 miles around the southwest coastal footpath for the charity Right to Play. Here, Martin explains why he took 1.25 million steps to help children out of poverty by running a marathon a day for 25 days.
I'm tired. It's been a tremendous 1 month. Started on March the 4th and finished today on April the 1st. It's been an amazing trip all around the southwest coast path of England. It's been phenomenal. It's working with like-minded people really all over the world. I'm from the Rotary Club of Cochrane in Canada. I've been over here. I've met a number of Rotary clubs and talked at them. Bude, Launceston, Bideford, all over. And it's the people that I meet with Rotary really give me a lot of hope in helping others both locally and internationally. So Rotary is a huge part of what I've been trying to do.
Martin has just completed his Quest 10 by breaking 9 Guinness World Records across Canada. At the Rotary Club of Roborough, last year's club president Caroline Easton was inspired by Rotarian Martin Parnell. In supporting Right to Play and the club's own international charity Literacy in a Box, Caroline accompanied Martin on part of his trek around the southwest coastal path. She then did a skydive from 15,000 feet and recently a 1,500 metre swim. Not wishing to be left out, Roborough's current president Phil Chesters cycled 40 kilometres and President-elect Helen West ran 10 kilometres. The Rotary Club of Saltash has held their 4th annual 2-day beer festival. This included some 15 guest beers and live music with an added attraction of a display of some 60 motorbikes. Proceeds went to the Valley Riding for the Disabled and Live Wire. The Overseas Project team has been instrumental in setting up Rotary clubs in Kosovo. Now the Rotary Club of Launceston has helped set up another Rotary club, this time in the city of Armenia in Colombia. In the past, Colombia has received aid from the Overseas Project team. Little did we know that a Rotarian there was originally from Topsham in Devon. Those who watch the Great British Bake Off may like to know that young Martha Collinson, who exited the programme in episode 7, had previously competed in Rotary's Young Chef competition. And in the same episode, you would have seen Rotarians from the southwest greeting Rotarians from Mexico. The Mexican Rotarians were visiting us on a Rotary Friendship Exchange and just happened to be at the Giva mine when the bake-off was being filmed. And that brings to an end our roundup this month. Thank you.
Well, that brings to an end this episode of our programme. If you want to know more or be featured, do contact us. And finally, remember, Rotary's business is doing good in the community. And Rotarians are just ordinary people, just like you, who are prepared to go out of their way to help others. But when they work together under the Rotary banner, these ordinary people achieve extraordinary things. They change lives, save lives, and give hope. Now, if that interests you, please contact us.